What up guys, and welcome to my review for Star Wars The Jedi Fallen Order, a video game, a highly anticipated game which we finally got our hands on this Friday. The wait is over. Now, was that wait worth it? Before we get stuck into it, do please subscribe, like, drop a comment if you enjoyed this review. It's much appreciated, and if you'd like to see me play games live, you can do that every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 8 to 10 p.m. EST on the Twitch link that's now on your screen below. So, without further ado, let's get it. So far, I've spent about 9 hours on this video game, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was slated originally as a mix between a Dark Souls combat system and Uncharted's exploration. I'd say that's a fairly accurate assessment, although I would equate the exploration and creative movement of the game more to Ubisoft's Prince of Persia series from yesteryear, or even the Tomb Raider series. The puzzles especially remind me of the Tomb Raider series. You can clearly see that the developer, Respawn, is responsible for the Titanfall games and Apex Legends. There's a lot of sliding, there's a lot of wall running. All of that is great and really fits the theme of the game. You can also be prepared for some amazing vistas and backgrounds if you take the time to look around. Some of the stuff you run, fly, and zip through is just phenomenal. Sometimes I just find myself hanging there looking around going like, this is cool, this is amazing, I like this. There were sequences on the whole so far that it made me really giggly and giddy, like I was a 5-year-old playing a game. It felt phenomenal. Running or sliding, stalling objects with the force so you can jump through them. It's a great feeling. It's a feeling we've missed, and it's a feeling we've been waiting for. The combat system, on the other hand, it's exactly like Dark Souls. It's right down to the save points, although in this game they're meditation spots, not hearts. And if you choose to rest there, it respawns all the enemy. This is also where you'll skill up. This is also where you get to look at all the fancy things. So that's very much like Dark Souls. Now, depending on the difficulty setting you choose at the start of the game, the combat can be easy, it can be rewarding, or it could be downright frustrating. If you've ever played Dark Souls, you will be familiar with the frustrating part. Stormtroopers, you can mow those down by the dozen without any fear of ever really dying. As long as you hold down your saber reflect, you'll be alright. Which is accurate. You are a Jedi, they're scum, you should be able to mow them down by the dozen. But once you start getting into the one-on-ones with some of the bigger creatures, those fights can be fairly challenging. And if you screw up even a second, they'll take a big chunk out of your health. Now, if you screw up too many times, you'll quickly find yourself right back at that respawn point going, how did I get here? What went wrong? What happened? Then you get frustrated, and then you go back. Then you try to blast your way through it, and then you die again. It's a repetitive cycle. Again, if you've ever played Dark Souls, you'll be familiar with this. The game heavily rewards learning the encounters, learning the attack patterns, and parrying. Every mob, including you, has a block meter. You could just hold down block, and every hit will take that down. But once that block meter is depleted, you'll get staggered and you'll be open for damage. Same with the enemy. Once their block meter gets depleted, they're staggered. You deplete that by parrying them well. Once they're in a stagger mode, you get the option to hit X on your Xbox controller, square on your PlayStation controller, and Cal will pull out some fancy action, slice and dice them in a cinematic. There goes the enemy. Against the bigger monsters, this is very important, and it also looks incredibly cool. Now, as for the force, in the beginning, you only start with the one power, stall, freeze. Incredibly useful. You'll use it a lot in the game. The other ones, you'll gather as you progress through the game. The story for his lack of force powers at the start is a bit meh. Consider you do start with the lightsaber, and you think he's a Jedi, he should have it all. But again, this is the way the story works. They can't just give you all the powers at the start. It would be too easy. So that's the whole shtick. Every planet you visit, you get a new power, you learn something new, you become better. Is it the best way to do it? No. Is it an okay way? Yes. Do I find it annoying or bothersome? Absolutely not. I can live with it. Graphically, the game's phenomenal. I've run into the odd glitch here and there, Cal jumping off something and getting stuck in midair, him zipping off, falling off a wall. Nothing that was game breaking, nothing that ruins the game. No Mass Effect Andromeda type things that have happened. So that's great. Cal himself is the protagonist, although his character is a little bit meh. Visually, he looks amazing. I like the way they made him. He's a cool looking character. His droid BD, probably the cutest droid to ever grace a Star Wars game or movie ever. They've also offered plenty of visual customization for both characters, as well as the ship you swoop around in. You'll find new outfits, new lightsaber customization, new ship customizations all over every planet in little crates. These crates also contain a lot of other stuff, such as force upgrades, not powers, just your max meter, and health upgrades, same as in other games. You're familiar with all of this. Now, as the protagonist, Cal, the baseline story is that you've been tasked or asked to rebuild the Jedi Order. In order to do this, you have to follow in the footsteps of an older Jedi Master. This Jedi Master was heavily invested in researching some ancient culture, and you have to go visit their temples. That's what makes you jump from planet to planet. That's how you collect your powers. That's what makes you come back. All in all, the story's, I'd say it's a bit thin, but it's Star Wars. Who cares? You're gonna go from planet to planet anyway because you want it. Now, every planet you get to, like I said, you get a new force power, and that forces you to also sometimes revisit some of the older planets, because with each force power you get access to a new skill that allows you to access new parts that you couldn't explore before. So sometimes you'll go back to the starting planet, push a bridge over, pull a bridge over, that sort of stuff. You couldn't do that before. Pull a rope to you. All these little things matter. The same with BD, he'll get a scomp link at one point, allowing you to upgrade crates, access doors that you couldn't access before. This makes you come back, revisit older locations, find new swag. All in all, it's very rewarding. So overall, to me, the game delivered. There was a lot of hype around this game right from when it was first shown, and there was a lot of concern because EA was the publisher. Valid concern, because EA is a bit of a money-grabbing company, and they've done us dirty in the past. They've done us dirty because, well, they're dicks. But in the end, this is just a great Star Wars game. It's a great game, period. Respawn really came through. They took the best of old established franchises like Dark Souls, Tomb Raider, Uncharted, Prince of Persia. They mixed all of them together and sprinkled a little bit of that old Star Wars magic over it. What's not to like? So, do you like the Star Wars universe? Do you like to be a Jedi? Do you like to swing lightsabers around? This is the game for you. Buy it. It's a no-brainer. If you're not a big Star Wars fan, but you have enjoyed games like Tomb Raider in the past, Uncharted, or even Prince of Persia, get this game. You'll most likely enjoy it. The only thing I will say is if you're a big Dark Souls fan, I don't know if the combat alone is enough to make you love the game. There is good combat. It is enjoyable, but it's definitely taking a backseat to the exploration and the running around and all that sort of stuff. So if you're just here to slash stuff down, maybe think about it. Maybe put it on the back burner, see what people do, and then see if you like it. Because there is a lot of exploration. That's the main point of the game. Anyway, that's all I had to say about it. I made a short review because I liked it, but I will be getting right back into it because I don't want to be spending time making videos when I can be playing it and hacking and slashing the crap out of this. If you enjoyed what you saw, like I said, hit that like, drop a comment, do hit that subscribe. It's all very much appreciated. And go get it, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.